The scene begins with a man named Matthew Stanfield. He has communication difficulties due to autism. We see him standing on a street in New Jersey, observing a woman standing in a shop and a nearby man. Amidst this, it is clear that he is calculating very complex timings happening around him. I noticed that a bus is coming, there is a pothole in the street, a street artist is displaying his drawings, and someone is riding a bicycle quickly. After observing all this, he crossed the street and placed a pen on the mailbox next to the pothole. Seconds later, his strange plan started to work. A taxi passed over the pothole and the water collected in the pothole splashed on the pen, causing it to fall to the ground. The street artist noticed and walked towards it to pick it up. At the same moment, he got on the bike, hit that artist, causing him to fly and crash into the mailbox and fall onto a nearby fruit stand. Chaos erupted in the street and everyone got distracted, even the bus driver. What happened was he didn't notice the light had turned red. He ended up hitting the woman who was crossing the street and she died instantly. And they say mathematics isn't dangerous. Milo walked away from the place calmly, confident that the plan went as he wanted. Then the scene shifts to an FBI agent named Olivia Dunham, working in a special division under national security responsible for strange and supernatural phenomena. Olivia appears to be returning to her work after a long absence due to a brain injury. As soon as she entered the workplace, her colleague Charlie, who is in charge of the team, greeted her. At that time, the general manager, Walter Bishop, was talking with the lab assistant, Philip Broyles, about Olivia's return. Philip said that this is not the original Olivia. This is a similar version of her named Fulvia. He was worried if they would be able to integrate with her in the team or not. Here we find out that the Olivia in the office is not the real one, just a substitute. They brought her to fill the place of the original Olivia. Walter Nate began explaining his plan and said they need to keep Fulvia in this world and implanted her with the real Olivia's memories. He says she's the only one who can move between the other worlds without anything happening to her. And that's why his goal was to find out how she can do that. He also said they need to make her believe she really is from this world. And Philip asked, what if she doesn't believe it? Walter replied to him and said that then it wouldn't matter. After that, Charlie gathered the team and explained the details of the strange bus incident, saying it happened twice in the same week. After a while, the FBI team arrived at the scene and started to spread out and look for any evidence. The investigation was led by an agent named Lincoln, whose face showed severe burns. Charlie started examining the body and took its fingerprints to find out more details. In the end, he found out that the woman who died was named Julian Foster. At the same time, Olivia was questioning the bus driver, who was literally terrified because it was the first time he had hit anything in his life. And Lincoln was testing if there were any environmental factors that could be the cause, but he didn't find anything. But they found the same pen at the scene. After questioning the witnesses, Olivia went to Lincoln and told him that the artist was trying to grab the pen and at that moment was hit by the cyclist and fell into the fruit stand. When Lincoln heard that, he said that the pen was the start that triggered this chain of events, and in the end, it led to the victim's death. The next day, at the headquarters, Lincoln and Charlie were trying to connect the two events. Lincoln noticed that the same pen appeared in the picture of the first incident, and at that moment, he became more certain that someone was behind all this and planning it with precision. After that, they went and talked to Astrid, who is an athlete in the agency, and told her about what happened. But Astrid replied and said it's impossible for a human to do all that and arrange these things twice in their favor. And while they were discussing, another bus accident similar to the previous one occurs. Estrada is shocked by what happened. The FBI agents rushed to the scene of the accident. When they arrived, they found that the victims were still alive this time. While they were asking people on the street, they learned that a dog suddenly crossed the road, causing the driver to lose control of the bus. Suddenly, Olivia noticed a pen rolling on the ground. At that moment, she realized that the series wasn't over yet. She looked around and saw Melio standing on the bridge, watching the scene from afar. A few seconds later, a man wearing headphones tries to cross the street, but he gets hit by an ambulance coming at full speed. It seems the paramedic was in a hurry to finish his shift. When Olivia confirmed her suspicions were correct, she called her team and ran after Melio. When Melio saw her, he quickly calculated and threw a wheel off the bridge. The wheel fell in front of the bus, causing it to change its path to pass under the bridge, and Olivia stopped. I confronted him, pulled the weapon on him, and threatened him to surrender, but he didn't give up and jumped off the bridge onto the bus roof and escaped. It's clear he's not only good at math, but also a bus tamer. After that, he returned home and found his sister waiting for him, her face full of worry. She told him she keeps getting calls from the hospital, but he acted as if he didn't hear. And she tried to convince him that he had to turn himself in before he got into more trouble, but he was one step ahead of her, finishing her sentence before she could speak, and he silenced her calmly. And then she brought out a small plastic horse as a memento from their mother. As soon as he saw him, he got nervous and walked away, saying it wasn't necessary now. On the other hand, the client went to the hospital for a routine checkup on his facial burns. Before entering the treatment room, he told Olivia to focus and look for something common among the three victims. Olivia took his words seriously, returned to the headquarters, and started questioning the accident witnesses one by one. After some investigation, she noticed that there was a strange link between the three victims and a certain medical center. All of them were directly or indirectly connected to the place. She went and told Charlie what she discovered, and they both rushed to that medical center. As soon as they arrived, Olivia noticed that some patients were using the same type of ballpoint pen because they couldn't handle digital devices. The iPads turned out to be a headache for these people. Then they met Dr. Levine, the director of the center, who turned out to know the three victims. The doctor began explaining some details to them and said that the center was experimenting with new treatment methods to enhance the intelligence of mentally ill patients. Then he showed them recordings of the patients. There, Olivia saw in the video when they asked about him, the doctor said he was one of their patients and that he was undergoing a drug trial that made his intelligence level increase remarkably. He continued and said that Milieu left the hospital under the care of his sister Madeline. He was supposed to return to continue his treatment and reduce the effect of the medication. Now he no longer answers their calls and eliminates anyone who tries to control him. After they found out he has a sister, the FBI agents decided to visit her without realizing. Milieu was watching Olivia very closely, calculating her every move and knowing her next steps before she made them. After a while, Charlie and Olivia arrived at Migo's house where they were met by his sister Madeline. They asked her about Melio's whereabouts, but she claimed she didn't know anything about him. When they felt she was hiding something from them, they told her about the crimes he committed and that he is a big danger if left like that on the street. Charlie went to search his room. Meanwhile, Olivia stayed with Madeline and told her about her sister who died and how they always cared for each other. This comforted Madeline a bit and made her start talking more about Melio. She explained that he became able to predict everything happening around him, down to very small details. And the only way to distract him is for him to see his old toy horse. Every time he sees it, he gets confused and flustered. Olivia managed to convince her to help them and tell them anything she knows. She explained to her that they are not only trying to protect people, but also trying to protect Migo himself. Madeline gave them a paper with the address of the hotel where he is hiding. After that, Olivia and Charlie sat with Astrid to plan how to catch him, but they quickly realized that no plan would work because he anticipates their moves before they make them, so they decided to go to the hotel directly without additional support. Honestly, I don't know what they expected this to help with, but they knew better. At the time, Milos was in his room at the hotel, standing in front of the window, imagining all the scenarios that would happen in a few minutes. Milos calculated it in seconds and realized that Olivia and Charlie were coming after him. He devised a plan to lure Olivia into an area with almost no air and planned to drop bricks on her to literally break her, just as he had planned. Olivia and Charlie arrived at the hotel and found Milos waiting for them in the street. He ran towards the construction site and they ran after him. Olivia wasn't paying attention to the warning signs about the lack of oxygen and ran into the area instead of stopping to put on the breathing apparatus. This move messed up all of Milos's calculations. He didn't expect expect her to be that reckless. And also when he tried to throw gathered stones at her, she easily dodged. Emilio was shocked when he saw his plan failing in front of him. In the end, Olivia caught him, but at that moment, Olivia was about to lose consciousness from lack of oxygen. But thank God, Charlie arrived at the last moment and brought her the breathing apparatus. After that moment, Charlie asked her why she didn't put on the device as soon as she saw the warning. She replied that she didn't understand that sign at all. Then Olivia went with Madeline to the hospital and saw Melio sitting in front of a huge computer. The doctor there told them that the effect of the drug that increased his intelligence stayed in his brain for a very long time and they couldn't return him to his normal state. His mind became so advanced that only machines could understand him. Madeline was sad and entered the room, leaving his old toy horse in front of him. That same night, Olivia was sitting at home when she saw a vision of Peter, her lover from another world, telling her that she is not from here, not from this world. He reminded her how her lack of knowledge about this world had saved her life before. If she had understood the signs, she might have died. Peter encouraged her to try to remember her real memories, and before he disappeared, he smiled. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and give a like to support us. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.